Hello, welcome to yoga. My name is Teresia Galakova and I'm an instructor for the WVU Campus Recreation Center. Today we'll do a little flow, and of course feel free to modify however you need to. Your body is your own, so just listen to your own internal cues. And today we will start in a comfortable seat. So come to sit on your mat. If you'd like, if you have blocks, or you can use a book if you don't have blocks. You can come to sit up, and then just take the flesh away from your sit bones. Let your hands rest down onto your thighs. Let your eyes close as your shoulders relax away from your ears. In this age of anxiety, it's very helpful to tune into your breath, into your body. That's what we're hoping to do today in our yoga class. So take a deep breath in through your nose. And then open your mouth and let it out. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. One more like that. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. And let your eyes blink open. On your next breath in, let your shoulders rise up towards your ears. As you exhale, let your shoulders roll down and away from your ears. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. And exhale, let them draw down. One more like that, in and out. Then on your next inhale, let your arms sweep up towards the ceiling. Turn your pinkies in and your thumbs out. Really reach your fingertips up high. As you exhale, let your fingers float down towards the floor. Look down towards your mat. Inhale, fingertips lift up high. Exhale, let them float down. Inhale, reach them up. This time as you exhale, grab a hold of opposite elbows up there. Inhale, lengthen up from your ribs. And as you exhale, arc over towards the right. And look down towards the floor. Really breathe deeply into the opening in your left side body. Start to lift back up, look up, and then slowly make your way to the other side. Arc over towards the left. Feel a gentle pull from your right elbow all the way down towards your right hip. Maybe take your gaze down towards the mat as you breathe deeply in and out, expanding through the right side body. Start to lift back up out of your side bend. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling, and then take your left hand over towards your right knee, right hand behind you, coming into a twist. As you inhale, lengthen up through your spine. As you exhale, peel your right shoulder back, take your gaze behind you. A few more breaths here. And then let your fingertips lift up towards the ceiling, towards center as you float to the other side. So right hand on the left knee, left hand behind. Inhale to lengthen up through the top of your head. And exhale to twist, open, take your gaze back. A few more deep breaths. Great job. Come back to center. This time, interlace your hands behind your head. Inhale, open your chest, really press your elbows away from each other, curl your shoulder blades in towards each other, look up towards the ceiling. And then slowly begin to round your back so your elbows press in towards each other. Your head comes down slightly. And you're not pulling on your head with your hands, but you have that natural push downwards of gravity. There's a little neck stretch. Breathe deeply. Notice and feel what your body is offering you today in this pose. And slowly begin to lift back up and release. From here, take your hands out in front of you, maybe come up off your block for this one. And then just walk your hands forward, let your chest come down, coming into a forward fold. Feel your back lengthen, let your forehead come all the way down. And then walk yourself back up and switch sides. So whichever leg is in front, bring it behind, switch your legs. And then walk your fingertips forward again. Get into the hips a little bit here. And just starting to notice and feel the sensations of your body. And begin to come back towards center. Plant your hands, roll over your knees, and come into a tabletop position. So in your tabletop, spread your fingers wide, let your hands be underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. We'll start to take a few cat-cows here. So as you inhale, belly softens towards the floor, lift your gaze, draw your shoulder blades in towards each other. And then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone down, start to round through your back, press your hands into your mat, and look towards your belly button. Inhale, spin your thighs in, back and wide. Really stick your butt out as you open your chest forward. Exhale, tuck your tailbone down, press into your hands, create a lot of space between your shoulder blades. And just take a few more of those at your pace. Really noticing the little movements in your spine. Notice your breath. Return to center, and as you inhale, lift your left hand up towards the ceiling. Really open through your chest. Feel your shoulder blades pull in towards each other. And then take your left hand under your right elbow and armpit. Come to rest on your left cheek. And come into thread the needle pose. So in this pose, spread the fingers of your left hand wide. Really press them down into the mat. And start to take your right hand up, maybe towards the left side of your back or your left upper thigh. And take a few deep breaths here. Keep that right shoulder pulling up and back. Maybe even start to take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And slowly begin to unwind. Reach that left arm back, up towards the sky, and then place it back on your mat. We'll go to the other side. So inhale, right arm lifts up, shoulder blades work in towards each other, open through the chest. And then dive the right arm under the left, and come into your thread the needle. Take whatever variation you took on the other side, and breathe deeply. Slowly unwind, make your way back towards center, into your tabletop, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Fingers spread wide. Then start to press down into your left hand. Reach your right hand up and forward. Get strong in your belly. Let your navel come in towards your spine. And then reach your left foot out behind you with the toes pointing down towards the mat. Press your hand and your foot out in both directions. Inhale, lengthen out. As you exhale, draw your knee and elbow in towards each other underneath you. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl in. One more inhale, reach out. And exhale, curl in. Lengthen out. And come back to center. Take a moment, notice and feel. Notice how that side felt for you. And then we'll go to the other side. So right hand presses into the floor. Get really strong through that right arm. Get strong through the core as you reach your left hand forward. Then, as you draw strength into the belly, reach your right foot out behind you, toes pointing down towards the mat. Press back through your heel. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, lengthen out. And exhale, curl your left elbow and right knee in towards each other. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, get long. Exhale, crunch in. One more reach. And curl. And reach out. And let it go. So now in your tabletop, tuck your toes behind you. Press down into your hands, maybe get a little bit of softness in your elbows. And then float your knees above the mat. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more breath in. And as you exhale, send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. So in down dog, your body looks like an upside down V. Hands press down into the mat. Shoulders and armpits lift up as your chest melts towards your thighs. Hips lift up and back and your heels melt towards the earth. Deep breath in. And let it out. Inhale. And exhale. And this inhale, lift up to your toes. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and slowly walk your feet forward towards your hands. Once you're there, grab opposite elbows, bend your knees as much as you need to, and let your chest drape over your thighs into ragdoll. So in ragdoll, let your head hang heavy towards the mat. Lengthen through your spine as you sway side to side. Rock your head, yes and no. Release any lingering tension in your neck and your shoulders. Visualize all the tension in your body releasing through your feet into the mat, into the earth. Start to release your hands down to the floor. Press into your feet and slowly roll up to stand, one vertebrae at a time. Reach your arms up over your head. Turn your pinkies in and your thumbs out. And then let your hands come in towards your heart. Close your eyes. Take a breath in through your nose. Let it come all the way down to your feet. Open your mouth and let the air out. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Open your eyes. This time, inhale, arms lift up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, let your arms swan dive down, forward fold. On this inhale, rise up halfway. Bring your fingertips up above your knees. And spin your inner thighs towards the back of the room. Lengthen forward through the top of your head. Draw your shoulder blades in towards each other. So you've got this nice long spine. One more breath in here. And exhale, fold, release. We'll do two more of those. Inhale, halfway rise, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. One more halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, and step your feet towards the back of the mat into a high plank. So to modify here, you could come down onto your knees, or if your wrists are bothered, you could come to your forearms. But in your high plank, if you're on your hands, spread your fingers wide, really press down into your index finger mound and through your thumb. And find a lot of strength through the legs, through the supporting part of the body. So the backs of your knees reach up towards the ceiling. Thighs get strong, belly gets strong, shoulder blades reach in slightly towards each other. And then find a steadiness to your breath. So deep inhale and long exhale. Breath in and out. On this inhale, shift forward slightly. As you exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. Reach your arms out ahead of you with the palms facing in towards each other. From here, press your hips down into the mat and float everything up off of the mat. So your fingertips are reaching out in one direction, toes in the other. Your gaze is down and maybe a little bit forward. Take a breath in. As you exhale, cactus your arms. Breathe in, feel that slight lift up through your chest. And as you exhale, keep your shoulders lifted, plant your hands, let your feet come down to the mat, and then roll up to Cobra. So in your Cobra, you can go as high or low as you'd like. So high would be to where your elbows are straight. Low would be to where your elbows are bent. But in any case, keep the head of the arm bones pulling back. So take a deep breath in your Cobra, feel your chest open. And then make your way to downward facing dog. Hips lift up and back. Deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and let it out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, lift up to your toes. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and step or hop towards the front of your mat. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up to stand, reach your arms up. This time as you exhale, bring your hands in towards your heart, let your knees bend and your hips sink towards the earth. Coming into chair pose. So in your chair, let your shoulder blades reach in towards each other. Allow the top of your head and your hips to reach in opposite directions. And take a few breaths here. Notice the sensation in your thighs, in your legs, in your core and torso. One more breath in. As you exhale, release and fold. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to high plank. Few breaths here. Ground down into your foundation through your hands, through your feet. Get strong in the belly. Breath in. And exhale, lower all the way. Arms reach out ahead, feet behind. Inhale, lift it all up, locust. Exhale, cactus your arms, feel your chest lift. Plant your hands underneath you, roll up, Cobra. And then back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, lift your right foot up towards the ceiling. And then bend your knee and peel your hip open. Lift up a little more through that right knee. And in this pose, the tendency is for the left shoulder and armpit to drop. So Just to modify that, let the left shoulder lift up, let the chest be square back. Deep inhale, lift it up. And exhale, step your right foot through towards your thumb. Come down to your back knee. If your knee is sensitive, you might want to pad underneath it with a towel or a blanket. And then bring your hands to your right thigh. Start to press your feet down and apart. The back toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever works best for you. And then start to lift your arms up whenever you're ready. So notice your body in this pose. Notice the strength of your legs, the expansion in your chest, the energy in your fingertips. And keep breathing in and out. Inhale and exhale. One more breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands and step straight back to down dog. On this breath in, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling, and then bend your knee and peel your hip open. Lift up a little more through the right elbow and armpit. Let your head reach down towards the floor as your left knee lifts up towards the sky. And then step your left foot through towards your thumb. Come down to your back knee. Take as much time as you need to get up into the pose. So hands can first come to your left thigh. Press into that thigh. Arms lift up. Let your gaze be straight forward. Let your ears pull slightly towards the back of the room so you've got a lot of length in the back of your neck. Fingertips lift up towards the ceiling, but your shoulders are nice and relaxed, down away from your ears. Keep a nice steady rhythm to your breath. So inhales through your nose, reaching all the way down to your feet. And exhales through the nose, letting you lift up a little higher through your hands. Take one more big breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back, down dog. In down dog, take a deep breath in and let it out. Breathe in and out. On this inhale, lift up to your toes. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and step or hop to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. On this inhale, lift straight up into chair. So bend your knees, sink your hips. Hands can come in towards your heart, or they can reach up towards the ceiling. And take a few breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Deep inhale. And this time as you exhale, you're going to shift forward and you'll lower halfway or all the way to the mat. This inhale, rise to upward facing dog or cobra. As you exhale, pull your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up high towards the ceiling. Bend your knee and peel your hip open. Deep breath in, lift it up. And then step your right foot through towards your thumb, come down to your back knee. Lift up. Breathe in and out. One more inhale. Exhale, hands plant, step back, down dog. Inhale, left foot lifts up. And step your left foot through, come down to the back knee. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, stay here. One more big breath in. Exhale, hands plant, step back, down dog. One breath in. And exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Rise straight up to chair, bend your knees, sink your hips, arms can reach, or they can come in towards your heart. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Deep breath in, shift forward slightly. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Right leg reaches up, breathe in. Exhale, step it through, come down to the back knee, sweep your arms up. From here, start to bring your hands in towards your heart. Tip yourself forward slightly, and then take your left elbow to the outer edge of your right thigh. Press your hands into each other, peel your right shoulder up and back. And notice the twist. So you're sinking forward slightly into the hips, but your legs are driving in slightly towards each other, so your right hip peels back, left hip peels forward. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, plant your hands to the inner edge of your right foot. Start to walk your right foot out towards the right. Your toes can point out towards the right as well. And then really sink your hips forward. Hands can stay up on the mat, or you can come down to your forearms, or can use a block or a book or any other tool that you have at your disposal and come to your forearms on that. So now we're really getting into the sensation in the right hip. So just breathe. With every exhale, see if you can soften a little more into the pose. So letting go of tension in your shoulders, in your neck, your jaw. Make your way back up to your hands, remove your block if you used one, and step back to down dog. Wiggle your hips out slightly, notice and feel maybe your right leg feels longer than your left. Then inhale the left leg up high, and step your left foot through. Come down to the back knee. Find some sturdiness in your foundation as you reach up, coming into your lunge. Then from here, hands draw in towards your heart. Tip yourself forward, and then right elbow to the outer edge of the left thigh. Hands press into each other. You can start to take your gaze up if you'd like as the left shoulder reaches up and back. And keep breathing deeply here, in through your nose and out through your nose. Breathe in and out. One more inhale. Exhale, hands come to the inner edge of your left foot. Wiggle your left foot out towards the left and maybe slightly forward. And start to sink into the hips. Notice the new sensations that this pose is offering to you. And then start to maybe move down onto your forearms if you'd like. And as you do so, try not to clench your hands or clench your toes. Let your body be relaxed as you come into the sensation of your hips. From here, slowly begin to lift back up to your hands. Move your block out of the way if you used one. And move back to down dog. From down dog, start to bring your knees down to the mat, walk your knees forward, cross your ankles, and roll through to lay down onto your back. Once you're on your back, let your knees be bent and your feet planted in towards your hamstrings. We're going to move up into bridge pose. So from here, take robot arms. Elbows alongside your torso, fingertips facing up. Then start to wiggle your shoulder blades together underneath you. So your chest is lifting up, feet pressing down into the mat, but your hips and head are still on the floor. Then from here, press your feet down, lift up through your hips, and then lift your chin slightly so you've got a lot of length through the back of your neck. Take your fingers underneath you, interlace your hands, walk a little bit further onto the tops of your shoulders, and just notice how you can breathe here. In through the nose, expanding through the chest and belly, and out through the nose or the mouth, really letting it go. Take one more breath in, lift up through your hips. Exhale, release your hips down to the mat and draw your knees into your chest. Take a couple little rocks with your knees and your hips in both directions. And then we're going to do one more bridge pose. So feet come back down to the mat. You can take the robot arms if you'd like, or you can interlace your hands underneath of you and lift straight up into bridge. Again, chin reaches up a little bit so the back of your skull is pressing into the mat. Inhale, lift up through the hips. Exhale, stay here. Press into your feet, grow tall. One more inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down. This time, knees come into your chest. Make a few circles in one direction and the other. And then release your feet back down to the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together, your knees wide apart, and place a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. And then just take a few minutes and notice your breath. Notice how the belly rises with every inhale and falls with every exhale. Breathe in and out. Notice your body, where it touches the mat. And try to relax those spaces a little bit more. A few more breaths like this. Let your hands come down towards your thighs, knees come in towards each other, knees come in towards your chest. Then start to rock and roll front to back on your mat. So take a couple good rocks, involve your whole spine, and come up to boat pose. So your knees are in towards your chest, toes are spreading wide, arms can reach out alongside you. Open your chest towards your knees, and then from here we're going to add a little bit of difficulty. So come to low boat, let your body lower down slightly, and then up to high boat. We'll pulse that way a couple times. Low boat to high boat, low to high, low, high, low, high. One more, low and high. Draw your knees in and roll down back onto your back. Keep your right knee in towards your chest. Let your left leg lengthen out forward. And then take your right knee over towards the left. Use your left hand. Right hand comes over towards the right into a twist. And just take some deep breaths here. Trying to slow down. to center. Let the right leg lengthen, left knee in towards your chest, and take the twist on the other side. Left knee over to the right, left arm out to the left. Breathe deeply into the outer part of your left thigh. Come back towards center. Draw both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a really big squeeze. Take a deep breath in and let it out through your mouth. One more breath in, squeeze everything in. And on this exhale, release to Shavasana. Let your body splay out. Let your breath return to its normal rhythm. Let your eyes close as your face softens. And take as much time in Shavasana as you'd like. And we'll see you next time.